So that's the first team's presentation about the data sets. So if you are ready, we can start.
Okay. Then we can start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our dataset selection presentation, where me, Emrecan Maryok, Duygu Duru, and Ege Baranayhan will tell you about our dataset and the steps where stats relevant therein. Our presentation will include the problem definition, the summarization of our data, and a short conclusion segment. I will start, and my friends will continue the presentation afterwards. Health and insurance companies around the world have been looking into insuring as many people around the world as they can in order to provide medical and monetary safety for their customers and to ensure the vehicle market standards stay at their current standings or even improve across the years. The problem we're addressing is finding whether customers of an insurance company, whether they were previously insured or not, would be interested in or would be willing to buy an insurance based on their personal details, based on their the details of their current vehicles, etc. The importance of this data is based upon many factors. For example, with the results of this data set, the insurance companies can figure out which customers to focus on so that they can maximize their sales, as well as to make sure that their customers are safe and sound. Additionally, this data set can be looked into further so that better price points and sales can be arranged in order to maximize the number of customers. This is my introduction segment. My colleague Duygu Duru can continue from this point onwards.
Hello everyone. In this section, I will try to explain where the data select data set, the number of our samples, the number of our numerical and categorical features, and what our target is. First of all, we found our data set by searching on kaggle.com, and name of the data set we choose is Health Insurance Cross-Sell Prediction. The data set does not seem to have any number of mismatched or missed data. The numbers of all the valid data can be found at the Kaggle source page. Anyway, if we go to the content of the dataset are selected, the dataset our selected data contain 127,037 tests and 381,193. Total of 508,146 samples with 10 features. You can see on the right of the slide. We have 5 numerical and 5 categorical features. The target value of the data is the response feature. As a footnote, the data only includes customers who are not interested in buying insurance. As meta attribute unique customer ID information given. Now Ege will explain our features, also what we do and plan to do in Orange Tree.
Hello everyone. So far my friends have talked about our data set, the basic information of it. So I'm going to talk about the feature definitions. For the customer, we have 3 basic definitions: ID, gender, and age. And if the customer has driving license or not, a region code, the unique code, specific code where the customer is living. And if the customer is previously insured or not, the vehicle age, the vehicle has damage before or not, or the annual premium, the premium, the amount of money the customer needs to pay for premium, or the policy sales channel, where did the customer has heard about us or not. So the vintage, the number of days customer has been associated with the company, the response if the customer wants to insure or not. So our data set came with 3 files: the train data set, the test data set, and the test. Since the test data set does not include the target value, a sample submission which contains the test data set results. So we have simply checked our data set if it fits to our purpose or not. So we added train and test data sets to Orange Tree. First of all, since the test data set does not include the target value, first we sampled our train data set into 30 and the 70%. For 70%, we trained the data, and for 30%, we tested their data, and we have averagely get 78% of success rate. And we used the prediction model, the Kainan model, to predict our test data sets. So first we have trained our data with trained data sets, then we tested our data with test data sets, and the prediction results were 98.3% success rate.
Okay. To sum up, we selected today's subject about insurance and controlled whether this data is helpful for us or not. Sample and feature counts were satisfying, and the initial tests with basic models was successful. Hence, we decided to go further with this insurance data set. We will use this dataset to train supervised learning algorithms, because our training models will know the exact answer of the target values to train and make accurate decisions. Our outcomes will be in 1 and 0 forms. For this dataset, it means customer's response of yes or no classification for the target variable. Thanks, everyone. We can accept any question.
Thank you for this good presentation. Anybody has a question? Numan, maybe you have questions.
Yes, I would like to ask one thing, that you tested this data on the Orange Tree program. And as you said that the train accuracy was 75% and the test accuracy was like maybe greater than 90%, right?
Yes.
Can you say something about this difference?
So at first we have sampled our data 30 to 70. So we only used 70% to train the data. Afterwards, whenever we separated our train and test data, we could able to train our data with 100% of the trained data set. So the data was trained better in the second part, the prediction part.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
Okay, any others? So any questions are welcome. So please ask questions to your friends. They have prepared a good presentation. So by asking your questions, you are actually helping the teams. So any questions? No? All right, I would like to ask you questions then. Actually, this is the initial presentation related about your data. Okay, not the model actually. So my question will focus on that. So in selecting a data set and understanding the data set is the first and foremost important step in the projects. Okay, and we have done some actions for that, but more of them is missing. Have you checked you already summarized the feature names. Can you show this slide? Slide 3 or so, yes. Here you need to pay more attention about these variables. And in the preparation document, I share you with some component names in the orange. Have you checked these?
We have checked the documentation, yes.
Yes, but you haven't select and you have never share any information. For example, how the age is distributed in the population. And there is the distribution component in the orange. Am I right?
Yes.
So you have to provide this. And maybe more than this, we have the correlation between these features. Remember that we have plotted the features and we selected the most related one with respect to the target value. Remember that we have done this in the class. So we can select a pair of features and then we can draw the diagrams, and visually we can see that if there is a relationship between the selected pair of features and between this and the target value. And there are other tools to visualize your features. As I said, that the first and most important step of a dataset selection, or beginning with a project or in real life to solve a question, always begin with your data. So exploratory data analysis is most important part of the project development. And believe me that 80–85% of time and effort must be and should be and is invested into this first step. So you need to understand your data, visualize your data, and then check for the missing data and understand the relationship between the features. Therefore, I think that in that presentation, we are missing on that part. So we, as a follower, I couldn't understand, for example, what could be the vehicle age between which age, from which age to which one. And if there is some distribution we can see on the screen. And what could be the relationship with, for example, the vehicle age and vehicle damage. And there should be some relationship that, and we could check that if there is a correlated features. If there are some correlated features, maybe you need to move out these features, or you can create new features. Therefore, please just prepare yourself for the next presentation about feature engineering and feature analyzing and visualizing the features. So these parts are missing. As I said, I am repeating for the last time, the first step of the dataset selection or checking the dataset if it is suitable for your goals, you need to spend more time onto features, feature values, feature correlation, and relation between the feature and the target value. That's really important. So for the next presentation in 2 weeks' time, please check the Moodle resources. Okay, in the last week of this semester, I will talk about more this, but please check this lecture on YouTube and Moodle. So prepare your EDA, explanatory data analysis, better. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Technical
But
things.
it's a good idea. It's a very good idea to test your data with some simple model as a benchmark to understand that you can go further. So thank you. Actually, I couldn't understand what you have done. It looks like very complicated. I think you use the select columns. Why you said use the select column here? I didn't understand. But for the moment, it's not too important because this presentation is related with your dataset selection, and the presentation is good, concise, and to the point. Thank you for that presentation. I hope you will improve this for the next presentation.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Now we can continue with team 2.